Hello everyone, welcome back to this channel. Let's continue our EDA session, Exploratory Data Analysis, where we explore the data. So our first step is discovering the new data set. So we have to understand the context of the data. We get familiarized with the data. Then only we can think how we can use the data set. Fine, now let's do some discovering. Okay, first First, I have downloaded all these libraries. We have studied about these libraries in details. So, NumPy, Pandas, Seaborn, and Matplotlib for visualization purpose. And there is a dataset named Penguin dataset that is already in Seaborn library. So, I have just downloaded it. Let me show you. If I write df, okay, you can see this is the dataset. Now, I want to know about the dataset. Firstly, if you want to know, you can simply open the dataset and you can just check manually, or if you want you can write some code to know more about the dataset. So first I will write df.head. If I want to know about 5 rows from the dataset, first 5 rows from the dataset, then df.head. Giving nothing means first 5 rows. 5 is the default value. If I give 10, then it will show me first 10 rows of the dataset. So you can understand what is there inside the dataset. What are the column names? What does this column means? Okay. Now if you want to see that last 10 rows from the dataset, you will simply have to write df dot tell 10. 10, 15, whatever you want to see, you can give. Okay. Now I want to know in details. I want to know df.info. So it will give me complete information about the dataset. Let's see. Here you can see 344 entries. So there are 344 rows. Total 7 columns. And here you can see the column names. Not null. So you can see 344 values are present. There is no null value. But here 342 values are present. That means 2 values are missing. Okay. You can understand what is the data type, D type. This one is object. Object means string data type. Float, bill length, bill depth. Here also you can see these are the float values. Again, sex is an object data type. So you get an overall idea about the data set, right? Now if you want to know the size of the data set, so you can write df dot size. Size is an attribute. Attribute means you don't have to give any brackets because this is not a method. Then it will show an error. Oops, concept, object oriented programming concept. Total 2408 values are present. If you add all these numbers, then you will get this value. Okay. If you want to check how many rows and columns, then df.sep 344 rows, 7 columns. Here also you can see 344 entries, 7 columns. Okay. So you are knowing about the dataset. You can also write df.describe. It will give you some statistical measures of the numerical columns. Let me run it. See, mean value 32 is the minimum bill length, maximum value 25 percentile, 75 percentile, 50 percentile. That means the median value. Middle value is lying here. This is the standard deviation. Mean value. How many values are present? 342 total count. Okay, so you can see that 342 values are present. 2 values are missing because there are total 344 entries. Okay, so you understand about the data. Now see here, this will give you value for the numerical columns because this cannot be applied on categorical columns. So automatically it finds the numerical columns from the dataset and gives all these measures. We have studied about these things while studying descriptive statistics. I hope that you have idea about all these things, about percentile, about 5 number summary, about all these things, about 5 number. I hope you have idea about all these things like minimum value, maximum value, percentile, the 5 number summary. Okay. Let's do some more. If I want to check null values, dot each null dot sum, it will give us the count of how many null values are present. See here, in spaces no null value, island no null values, but bill length 2 because we check here total 342 count, 2 values are missing in every column. See, 2 values are missing. In sex 11 values are missing. Okay, now before applying modeling you have to work with these things, like you may remove them, you may replace them by forward fill or backward fill, by mean value or by median value. So depending on your project and your aim, you may work with this missing value data set. Okay, but first you have to know whether there is any missing value or not. This comes under this discovering part. Okay. We can also check df dot d types. Now see if I run it. See the data types. The species, string data type, island, string data type. Before visualizing them, you have to understand what types of data we have. Sometimes we may need to convert categorical data into numerical data. Because for machine learning, you may have to convert the categorical to numerical data. Okay, so first you should know what are the types of data you have. If you don't know about these types of data, numerical or categorical, I have a video on that I have described in details. A simple topic. When there is a number, numerical data, when there is a category, string category, then you can see this is a categorical data. Okay. Now what are other things we can see? Like if I write df dot columns. See, this will give you the column name, species, island. There may be some typing error in any column, or if you want to change the column name, maybe you think that this is a big name, you want to change it to BLM. So you can replace that. Okay. So this way you can change your data set, or I can say you can modify your data set. Fine. Now let's say I want to know df, I want to know about average wavelength. So I can simply paste it and dot mean. Or see, so they have this mean wavelength. Okay. If you want to know median, just let me copy what is the median value. 44. So mean value is, and median values are almost equal. If there is a difference between mean value and median value, then the data may be skewed, maybe positively skewed or maybe negatively skewed. So that time you have to make the distribution normal. Okay. These things we will learn while doing project, that how we have to make our data ready. But before that, you must have this idea. Then only you can understand what are the things you need to do. Okay. Or if you want to sample, we did sampling. You remember we did a complete class on sampling. Suppose I want 10 sample values from this data set. Oh, I'm so sorry. Just write sample. The technique is known as sampling. Okay, so it will give me 10 random values. If I want, give me 4 sample. Head will give you the first 5 rows. Tail will give you the last rows. But I don't want first or last. I want random rows. So I can use sampling from the population. If I run it again, then another numbers will be generated because random numbers. Okay. So these are the way we can discover a data. Let's do it on another data set also. I have a data set, Amazon book sheets, copy path. I have downloaded this from Kaggle. Okay, Kaggle, let me show you. Kaggle is where you can find data sets. Just uh, create your account if you don't have. Then you can download any data set and then you can apply different kind of discovering techniques. You try to understand the data set. Okay. Anyway, let me make it a data frame. I write df1 equals to pd dot. You tell me what will be the code. Read CSV within quotation. I have to paste this the path. Now just df1. It will show you the data set. Fine. Now if you want to apply df1 dot head, it will show you first 5 rows, right? If you want tail, last 5 rows. Okay. Info, it will give you complete information. Sorry, this one is info. df1. So you can see that there are 7 columns, total 600 entries. Column name, author, user rating, reviews, price, year, genre. This dataset is about books in Amazon. Okay, so this dataset is about books and authors. Okay. Now if you want, you can check how many categorical values are there, how many numerical values are there, whether what is the D types. Let me show you. It will show you the data types. Okay. If you want to explore any categorical value, suppose it is a genre, I want to know what types of genre are there. So I have to write df genre dot value underscore counts. Now if I run it, uh, what is the name? Sorry, df1. See, there are non-fiction 337, fiction 263. Okay, so you can understand that whether the data is balanced data set or imbalanced data set. Balanced data set means both have similar number of values, almost similar, but non-balanced means maybe non-fiction is too much than fiction. So here the data set is okay types. So you can understand this also. Okay. In Penguin dataset also, you can, first let me run this. You can know the species types. So you have to write df species dot, sorry, dot value underscore counts. You can understand three species type. Okay. So this way you can explore the data. Fine. Or if you want to know more, let me write df or df1. If you want to know the mean price value, so we can write price dot mean value, average p maybe in caps, exactly. So average price value you will get from here. Or if you want to know like types of author, let's do this. You have to experiment here simply. Sometimes you will get some values, some meaningful, sometimes you will not get, but you have to explore as much as possible. In later classes we will understand how to start exploring, but here we are just seeing what are the types of exploration we can do. You can find many number of authors. Okay, Jeff Kinney has written maximum number of books. Okay, next we can see which books have received 4.8 user rating. So we can write user. So we can write user rating, user rating greater than 4.8. Now if I run it, I have to filter it. So I'll write df1 and here also close the bracket. Then I will get only those which are true. See, greater than 4.8. Is there any book got 5 ratings? If I write 4.9, greater than 4.9, no, nothing, no, no books. So greater than 4.8, 61 rows, 7 columns. That means 61 books have got 4.9 rating. I can also check if there are any duplicates. So I can write duplicated. If I run it, see, I will get this one. So I just write sum. It will give me the total. No duplicates value. Let's check for df1. There is also no duplicated value. If there are duplicates, then you have to remove the duplicates. Otherwise, it will create bias. So you get my point that here we are just discovering the data. And if you want, we can simply open the data set and see here. We can just see from here also. Name, author, user rating, reviews. You can just scroll and manually can understand that the types of data. Okay. So you can understand that our first job is to discover the data in different ways. Okay. Now in our next class, we will do some structuring in a dataset. Okay. We'll meet in our next video. Till then, bye. Happy learning.